All right, I'm currently on the phone with Chad Erickson. He's another musician that currently reached out about the current interview sessions. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the chance to introduce himself.
Hey, everybody. My name is Chad Erickson from the band The Untimely, and then more recently, the band Polydemonic. But I guess I'm here to talk about the upcoming Uptimely shows.
Awesome, very cool. We will definitely touch base on that. But first of
Yeah.
all, let's go back in time a little bit. Tell me about when you first came in contact with music. How do you think it kind of connected with your personality and made you want to pursue it?
Honestly, music is some of the first memories I have, whether it be me in the basement with a tape deck at like 4 or 5 years old, or just like random memories of driving around in the car and hearing, I don't know, Prince or whoever, growing up. I don't know. I guess it's always been my first go-to emotion and memory. I suppose I started music in grade school as well. Started as a drummer, did that all the way through ninth grade, picked up a guitar in eighth grade, which is also the same year I got a drum set, I believe. So by freshman year, I was total music band nerd.
So were you part of like the regular concert band, jazz band type thing in the school system?
Yeah, in grade school, I was the concert band, one of the snare drummers.
Okay.
And also I guess the choir. And I only have a couple memories of actually doing choir. And one of them is pretty vivid because being the short kid, they'd put us up on like the last row, so you'd actually see us, or they'd put us right in front. And I remember one time being on the very last, or the upper row of, steps that they'd put us on in front of people. And one of the girls next to me fainted and fell. Had to get rushed to the hospital. It cracked her head, I think, a little bit.
Oh, Jesus.
Very vivid, kind of scary. It was weird. I don't know how to describe it, but it was very vivid and it scared me.
Did you do drumline at all since you were into percussion?
Never.
Okay.
Too poor and maybe too nerdy. I think the closest it got was just continuing to do snare drum in like 7th and 8th grade. Unfortunately, my teacher didn't like me and would kick me out of class easily once a week for no reason at all, or because I wasn't holding the sticks exactly correctly. I don't know. Kind of a bummer, but kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I kept at it, I guess.
Sure. I've definitely had my fair run-ins with teachers. I can relate to that. Tell me about how that transitioned to outside of school. Once you kind of were out of school and kind of had to engage with music on your own, what was that kind of formation like? How did you kind of decide you were going to continue to participate in music?
I guess the decision wasn't even like, I didn't even have to think about it. It was just like, this is what you're going to do. And I went out and forced kids in my neighborhood to start a band with me. Turned out one of my buddies from junior high started a rock band with one of his buddies that he met through somebody at Boy Scouts or something. I went over to his house. He's like, yeah, we have a band. And I'm like, well, dude, I have a drum set. Let me be your drummer. Bam. So and that was the first band, ninth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just forced myself into my friend's band, forced my other friends at Southwest to join a rock band with me. I pretty much just made people be in a band with me or forced my way into a band. Kind of comically, I suppose. I guess I'm still doing the same thing. It was never even a decision. It was just like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make other people do it with me. Hopefully they want to.
Sure. So at some point, you had to have gone through the decision process of, instead of being behind the drum kit, you were going to, pick up the guitar more as a priority and stand in front. So what was that decision process like?
Oh, I think it was something I always kind of wanted to do. I just wasn't sure about doing that till I got a guitar. And then I was like, I 100% want to be a lead guitar player. And then I was like, I kind of threw drums to the back burner. but still, love playing drums. I didn't even want to start singing till I was like 20, honestly. I hated my voice. I hated going through puberty. I was just awkward, and I still kind of hate my voice, but I said, fuck it, because I couldn't find a singer, and just started training myself to do it around, I guess 18 to 20 is where I just, fuck it, I'm going to sing.
So when you say you hate your voice, and this is a little bit of a tangent,
Yeah,
everybody when they hear themselves recorded says they hate their own voice. Do you think that is why you hate your voice, or do you just genuinely hate your own voice?
genuinely hate, or at least, I mean, I guess I've accepted it now.
Sure.
But I used to certainly hate my voice. I know it's a little or I don't know. I'm like mid-rangey and loud, and I just hated it. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess as an adult, I accept it, but I know it's not your standard voice. It's not the first voice somebody would want to hear as their lead singer in their band, I guess.
Okay, so following the story, you decided to step out in front behind the drum kit and decided to start forcing and pushing people to play in your band with you.
Yep.
Tell me a bit about how that process went of getting people together to, get your lineup together.
It's kind of an interesting story. So I went to Southwest, and I had some friends that went to Washburn. The bass player went to Washburn. Guitar player the other guitar player and myself went to Southwest. We started bugging kids to play for us. If anyone knows who Mercy's May is, we kind of came at him because he was poetic, artsy, and could draw. And the first time I saw any of his poems, I was like, dude, you're like Jim Morrison. You 100% have to be in this band. And he was like, well, I've never actually thought about being a singer. Let's give this a shot. And then he fucking did it. Then he bought a guitar and he became a full-fledged singer-songwriter. Within 6 months of us maybe being in this band and barely having a handful of tunes, this dude, he pushed us to go record with the older kids around town that were in bands. I don't know if anyone knows the band Ferocious Twig, the person Nate Dittmar, but we went up into Ferocious Twig Studios in like my 10th grade year and recorded an EP and borrowed their drummer. And, looking back, it was like honestly the best time of my life. And just building that dream was like super cool. And we just sort of rushed it regardless of how ready we were for it, which I think actually set us up to just be comfortable going forward, doing whatever with just having to not care so much about what people think. I don't know. We just sort of threw ourselves into the fire, and it was like super cool, whether we were ready for it or not. It's kind of a weird question. I don't know how to answer this other than we just sort of threw ourselves into the fire.
And I mean, that's completely valid. I've talked to a lot of people where they kind of just pick the people around them and then all kind of go at it as a trial of fire and see what sticks.
Yeah, and like making older kids guide us in some way, even if we didn't listen to everything they said, we still were. We had the advantage of getting a little free advice as high schoolers.
Sure. So you've been in the Minneapolis music scene for quite a long time, and so you're talking about back when you were still in high school and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's kind of fast forward a little bit to kind of like where you are now. Where do you kind of if you were to like put a pin on it, what would you say your current status is?
I guess in like. What do you mean? Like where I sit in the scene, or like where I sit as
not
artist?
Exactly that. I guess, yeah. So artistically, and then also kind of where do you see kind of the like direction of your band going, like recording wise, and then doing shows and stuff.
Sure. Well, I guess I see myself as a guy who wants to do more than I'm able to do. and I want to be in the biggest band in the world, whether I get there or not. Where I'm at now is kind of interesting to talk about because I got my last few shows with Jen Dean coming up. This Saturday being the big one at Skyway Theater. After that, we're sort of going to take some time off and do some writing and recording and trying to train in somebody who really wants to be in the band and just sort of polish, make it bigger and better and move forward with a refined product and new material, I guess. While at the same time, I guess you said where I see myself. I tell people this a lot too. It's like, I'm not trying to like compare myself to Jerry Cantrell, but it's like, it would make sense when I'm trying to describe it this way as the Untimely going forward is going to drop the Chad Erickson in the name and we're just going to be the Untimely. So that will be like my Alice in Chains. And then I'm also going to have the Chad Erickson band with some different folks and doing some different material. And I sort of correlate that to like, I guess, Jerry Cantrell's solo shows. Like there'll still be some Untimely music in there, but it's probably going to be more of his solo stuff and or a little more variety, but still throw in some of those greatest hits. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And
I guess that's kind of...
like, I don't think it's very cringy to kind of, you know, hold yourself to like other people, set your personal goals. Like that's how you kind of like determine the progress you're making on your own. Like, I think that's completely valid.
Right. And I'm not even trying to compare myself to him because our music isn't really anything alike other than we're like rock guys and singers and both happen to be blonde. But like, it's just a good like analogy because he has like the band and then he's got his solo career. And it's like, I guess similar to what I'm doing, but not really anything like it.
Sure. So you also mentioned your other project, Polydemonic. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Tell me about how that came together.
So that is just me wanting to be a drummer and still having the drive to want to play metal drums. I was in Callous Soul, kind of stepped away from that, got let go, and I still have the drive. So I wanted to start a metal band with like the group of my best friends that I've like known since I was like 5, or I guess 5 is the longest. Some of them I met in high school, but basically it's a chance for me to play metal with my best friends and have a good product and just another outlet where I get to drum and hit stuff.
Sure. You know, that kind of ties into the whole like adage that Minneapolis is just 12 bands that have 5 people in it kind of thing.
It sort of is, yeah. And I've pretty much asked everyone to be in this band or tried to get somebody to drum for me.
Sure.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Hilariously true.
All right. Well, so
but it's metal. It's nothing like the Untimely. It's we're gonna go like half Spanish with the lyrics if we can. It's way more south of the border with that
cool
vibe.
Well, and I think that that's a really good kind of way to play it too. Instead of just being in a bunch of bands that are all the same band, like breaking up the genres and stuff. Like that's a really good way to go about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me a couple of your favorite memories that you have of your time with music that really help keep you motivated.
That's an interesting question. I suppose anytime we have a successful show with a good turnout and positive feedback, I still get overwhelmed by that and super appreciate it. The one time I got to play a festival was really fucking cool. In 10th grade, again, my first band, one of our shows got to be in a wrestling ring. That was a pretty cool memory. We also played a park board and dressed up the park board like a wrestling ring and had every kid in town at that concert in like 1994, 95, and it was just like a huge mosh pit, and it was like that was a pretty serious memory. I mean, I got plenty, but those first few, I think, are what motivate and push people to continue going forward the rest of their life. Seeing a band that you really enjoy, and then meeting them and realizing they're also just people, is also inspiring, because I don't know, it makes you realize that, hey, they're just people and they had to work real hard for this too. And everyone is just trying to get there. I don't know. I don't know how that motivates me, but somehow it does. Knowing we're all sort of in the same boat, and it's just kind of depends on how hard you work and if the right people like you.
Yeah, I mean, that's completely valid. That's a part of the entire concept of not competing with others, but competing with yourself, and, you know, looking at what other people are doing and saying, okay, I can apply that sort of thing to how I'm approaching things, and that will, you know, help elevate me. Like, I think that's a completely valid perspective.
Yeah. Or watching a band blow me the fuck away, going, shit, I need to like step up my game. I love it when a band just like is amazing, because there's like a lot of shows you go to and it can be a snooze fest, even though you enjoy live music. So when a band floors me, it excites me and it makes me want to keep pushing and doing things. And then it also inspires me to have a bigger, better stage show, and not just necessarily be about the music, which it is, but it's also about creating something that people can also take home and have a very cool, positive experience with, and motivate them to want to go back to those things or start their own. I don't know if that made any sense.
It does, yeah. I follow. Okay, so you mentioned that you do have a couple of final shows coming up here with Jen Dean.
Yeah.
Where can people check those out, and then follow you on social media, and also check out the stuff that you'll be putting out?
Okay, well, this Saturday, August 16th, you can check us out at the Skyway Theater with Helgen, Witch Syndicate, Silent Halo, Nutcracker Dungeonist. I'm going to have Ann Hoodick come in and lead a team of pole and like go-go dancing ladies. I got some live artists coming. It's going to be a huge deal. And then we're also playing Crypticon Friday, September 12th. And those are the last two shows with Jen Dean. Unfortunately, it will be bittersweet, but it'll also be awesome. So if you can make it out, please do. You will not be let down. I suppose you can find all of our music on any streaming platform. We got videos on YouTube. We got a website, www.theuntimely.com. You can always check out our albums on Bandcamp, SoundCloud. SoundCloud gets wonky, but Bandcamp has been pretty awesome and consistent.
Yeah, as a bit of a tangent, I think people are going to start moving away from like Spotify and focusing more on Bandcamp.
I hope so. I've been lucky enough to have a handful of people buy our stuff. Thank you, everybody who's bought our album on Bandcamp. It means a lot to us. You don't have to, but you did. Like, honestly, when people do that, that's like the little things that inspire me to keep going. There's a lot of doubt going forward in the music and art world with AI, and just like people being afraid of cities due to media narrative that is unnecessary. So I don't know. I'm grateful for Bandcamp and anything where our fans can check us out and actually throw us a couple bucks, or just turn their friends onto it. I don't know. It means a lot more than Spotify.
So I always like to give the person I'm interviewing the opportunity to put out their last word. What's a message that you have that you would want other people to hear?
Stay positive. Stop fighting with each other. We're literally all in the same boat, and there's no need for us to worsen our situation. Come on, everybody. It's 2025. Let's go out with a bang before we're all replaced with robots and AI. I don't know. I'm trying to be positive in a dark situation here. All we have left is our own art and our own gatherings. Let's just do that. Let's have a good time and enjoy each other's company. Let's not fight. Let's not bicker, which is what the top 1% of wealth hoarders want us to do.